Greetings. My name is Justin Tabor, and I'm the current president of the Peace Corps Alumni Foundation for Philippine Development, or PCAFPD. On behalf of our US-based Board of Trustees and our Ituloy team in the Philippines, we want to thank you for your interest and support of our efforts to facilitate human development in the Philippines. Started in 1983, PCAFPD celebrated its 40th anniversary in 2023. As you spend the next few minutes learning about our history, programs, and impacts, we hope that you will come to share our enthusiasm for all that PCAFPD has accomplished. We are proud of the 40 years of Filipino-American friendship that fuels our endeavor, and through your support, we look forward to our next 40 years. In this presentation, you will also have the privilege to meet some of the amazing Americans and Filipinos who make our programming possible. To start, I'm going to hand the presentation over to our longest-serving board member, a former PCAFPD president, and an original 1961 Philippines RPCV, Maureen Carroll. Maureen, take it away.
PCAFPD was incorporated in 1983. The concept behind the program developed out of a series of small group discussions by former volunteers who were trying hard to figure out a way that they could create opportunities for returned volunteers and staff to continue to support and be engaged in Philippine development from afar. They decided upon a scholarship program for Filipino students who were academically superior, but without resources, financial resources to continue their educations. The focus was rooted in a very strong conviction that individual or human development is basic or key to community change and in turn to national development. And they expected that if the scholars gathered or gained the knowledge and skill that they would in a university education, they would be contributing to the Philippine development. The choice was also consistent with the very high value that Filipinos place upon education and with Peace Corps programming over many decades. There has always been a very strong partnership with Filipinos in developing the foundation. In fact, one of the founders was a former Peace Corps staff member who, in his retirement, dedicated 11 years to the startup of the foundation and really established an awful lot of the procedures, but more than that, was like a father figure to the scholars. Upon his death, his son Roland came forward and continued his father's work, which he has done for 30 years. At this point, what we're most proud of is that we now have a group of program beneficiaries, young people who secured their degrees through our support, and who are grateful for that and have stepped forward to administer the program on our behalf. They are taking the baton from Roland and running with it, and we're especially proud of them.
Thank you, Maureen, for that historical context. By the end of the 2024-2025 academic year, PCAFPD will have graduated over 300 scholars, a number we are very proud of. As part of our 40th anniversary celebration, we conducted an impact study with our program alumni to learn what effect scholarship might have had on their lives. I'd like to share a few of the results of that impact study with you now. In this first pie chart, we see that without PCAFPD's support, over 70% of our scholars would not have had the opportunity to obtain their degree. This speaks to our commitment to identifying scholars who demonstrate academic excellence, but also economic hardship. In the next visual, we see one of our favorite impacts. Since graduating with their degree, over half of our scholars have paid forward their studies by supporting at least one other degree. That's usually another member in their family. Based on scholar responses, we estimate that for every scholarship PCAFPD awards, a second Filipino gets the chance to study. Finally, our data shows that when comparing the economic standing of scholars and their families before, during, and after their studies, we see scholars moving into higher income brackets, a sign of positive development. And although we certainly can't take credit for all of their successes, it is reassuring to see that as our scholars enter their careers, they uplift their family standing with them. Now, while data is important, it only tells part of our story. And so next, I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Aries Asilo, who can share his experiences as a PCAFPD scholar. Aries.
And then I slowly opened it because I really couldn't contain my, my excitement opening it. And I was opening it. And then it's the first letter said, congratulations. Oh my God. I really kept jumping. And then everybody was looking at me. My uncle saw me. Totoy, you know the word Totoy is my nephew. Why are you jumping? What's happening? I passed the scholarship and I was really jumping. I was jumping with so much joy near the tricycle station. And everybody else was like clapping their hands. And then my uncle, Kuya Rico, told me, Oy, Totoy, you can go to college now. So I went home. I was really very giddy. I was so excited. I was so happy. Beyond that, I was able to use my course to create a system that I'm doing right now. It's a combination of nutrition and then my master's management. It's a business management. And so it was also funded by the foundation. So it's basically two courses that are combined, the nutrition and the management. So it's nutrition entrepreneurship. And now I'm using it for our business. So I now have a business. I recall in 2003, my communications teacher asked me, what do you see yourself, or how do you see yourself 10 years from now? So I said, Mom, it's 2013. I envision myself having a business. And in 2013, I registered my first business. So giving back is something that I learned from the foundation during my stint as a scholar. But over time, it evolves. I believe that it's no longer just giving back because you only give back to something where you came from, right? Because that's why it's giving back. But you can also give to areas you haven't really gone into. And I think that some sorts of evolved because the foundation not only gives back because of your stint as Peace Corps volunteers, but you also give more to even areas who have no Peace Corps volunteers. So it has evolved from giving back to actually giving without condition.
To complement our flagship program, the PCAFPD Board of Directors set aside $10,000 to conduct a 5-year pilot of a granting program. They recognize that while scholarship is one way to achieve our mission, that human development extends beyond the classroom. In 4 years, the program has provided $8,000 to fund projects like technology education for Indigenous youth, an environmental after-school program, and multiple projects supported by Peace Corps volunteers. To share her experiences as an RPCV and a PCAFPD grantee, I'd like to introduce one of our first grantee winners, Emma Sarkle. Emma.
I'm happy to say that the grant really had a great positive impact, not only in terms of the immediate effect on increasing our patients' confidence and knowledge around childbirth and early parenthood, but also in a wider scale across our social media platforms, reaching thousands of community members with the educational content. And not only that, the grant also had a much wider organizational impact as it enabled the clinic to develop a local sustainability model and become the first facility in Cebu to offer water birth. Obviously, really heartwarming to think that people like the volunteers I served with, people from previous batches, people in future batches, hopefully, are a key part of making this happen. And so I love that this project also really built on that kind of the counterpart ethos almost. So, really working with individuals and communities to meet local needs and to improve quality of life.
To stretch every donation to its maximum, we rely on the efforts of volunteers in both the US and the Philippines to make all of this happen. In the Philippines, our Filipino partners have named themselves the Ituloy Team. The Ituloy team and the PCAFPD board work hand in hand to make sure that our scholars and grantees have what they need to be successful. We are proud of this model that mimics both the cooperative nature of the Peace Corps, but also the special relationship between our two countries. To share her motivation to join this endeavor, I'd like to introduce you to our former scholar and now an Ituloy team member, Rachel Briones. Rachel.
I really wanted to pass forward what I got from the scholarship. I think this is really the best way for me to show my gratitude to the organization. And also, it's just really, it feels good to know that you're making a difference in someone else's lives. As I said earlier, I'm really grateful to that I had received the scholarship, and I'm even more grateful now that I have the opportunity to give back and continue to help others. And I really hope that in the future we'll be able to help more kids, because I know that this opportunity can really change not just one life, but the life of their families, the people around them. I've seen how other alumni have really excelled in their fields and have done really well in contributing to the development of our country. So I know that it's a domino effect.
The future of PCAFPD depends on the continued support from our PCVs and their friends and family. Here to discuss why being a PCAFPD board member is his way of continuing his Peace Corps service is board member Nick Spalt, who returned from service in 2019. Nick.
So I found out about the foundation in 2018 during my service as a Peace Corps volunteer. I was a recent graduate where I had paid for college myself. I came from a financially needy family, and I found the foundation on a website after searching for what I could do at my site. I saw that the scholarship applications were for financially needy students as well. I really identified with the program. I was able to get a scholar from the island, a scholarship. It had a profound impact on my service, probably the most impactful thing. I wanted to continue doing that work. And so once I completed my service, I joined the board. And as one of the newest board members, I recognized the profound impact that the foundation has had on hundreds of scholars over the past 40 years. One of the amazing things about our foundation is our connection with the Philippines, not just with the scholars, but with volunteers from the Philippines. So for those that still want to be engaged in volunteerism after their actual service with the U.S. Peace Corps, it's a great opportunity for that.
In closing out this presentation, I would like to thank you once again for your interest in PCAFPD. If this video has inspired you to support PCAFPD, either financially or with your time, we invite you to follow the QR code on the screen to our website. I would like to assure you that even the smallest of gifts has the ability to affect meaningful change. Whether you're giving $5 a month, volunteering as a board member, or fully sponsoring a scholar's four-year course of study, we invite you to join our community of service and fuel our next 40 years of success. Maraming salamat.